Welcome back. This is the MMore Life Podcast. Back for another episode. But this is the first time we have video, so it's a very exciting development here, and our newly developed YouTube channel, which we'll be very happy and excited to roll things out on. So,
yep. And as you can see, we got a nice banner up ahead. Our guest here.
Yep.
And speaking of guest, our guest today, Chris.
Woo! Look at that. Welcome, Chris.
So Chris is a guest that we've had our eyes on. He's a very interesting guy, and I think one of his main attributes would be I think he's a little more into the fitness field compared to me. I think he's more of a gym goer. You're into marathons, triathlons, all that good stuff. So why don't we start by talking a little bit about that?
Yeah. I would say that the first thing would be that I just got back from the gym right now to this podcast.
All right, that's awesome.
The main thing that I've been doing over the past few months is really just focusing on eating calories myself, and then also going to the gym and following an actual fitness plan. I got a 9-to-5 job, which made it a little bit easier to go to the gym every day, stay on an actual schedule. So that was something I've never actually done before. So now that I can actually just get out of work, go to the gym, eat dinner, and then go to bed.
What do you say to those people who are like, I want to bulk up and things like that, but the problem is I either don't have enough time to eat during the day, or I just physically can't force myself to eat that much food? What do you say to those people? Because obviously you've been successful with it, so.
Yeah. So I gained 40 pounds in just over 4 months, which is actually insane compared to most people on there.
It's very crazy.
That's a lot. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah. So definitely some fat on there. I'm not jacked. I'm not crazy, but my eating habits were not good before at all. I could barely even get to 3,000 calories a day, just trying to eat food. Really, it was cooking the food took so much time out of my day. I incorporated some fast food in there. That's what we were just talking about right before we actually got on here is Taco Bell. So
you would say you attribute a lot of your success to dirty bulking.
That's true.
I think that's the right term for it.
Yep, for sure. I don't think there's any shame in it either.
No, I don't think so either.
Some people have a bad idea of it, but I think that if you got to hit the calories, you got to hit the calories. So
yeah, you put on mass at the end of the day.
I would say if you can do it, then absolutely go for it. I mean, there's people out there with different let's say someone with an autoimmune disease or a Crohn's disease who, if they had those same goals as you, they'd probably have to go about it a different way to where they have a little more limitations in place. But I mean, if you can do that, you might as well. That's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, I think that again, I when I was struggling to eat the 3,000 calories and then I went up to 4. Really, the main thing that I was thinking about was my end goal was put on as much weight as I could and get as much muscle as I could. And at the end of the day, that's really what the goal was. So there was days where, I felt like I was going to puke after I kept on eating. But the end goal was it might suck right now, but my goal is to, get a body that I'm more proud of and confident with. So.
Yeah. For the listeners and viewers that may not be able to tell, me and Chris are related. We are cousins.
I don't see it.
I mean,
maybe. But I mean, we share a little bit of genetic DNA, and I know for myself it is very difficult to put on weight, and I would definitely have to commit myself, like you were saying, really force yourself to eat a lot every single day. But I guess you could say it's assuring or almost inspiring in a way to realize that it is possible. You just really got to commit to it.
Do you do any supplements at all?
I recently did a lot. I'll throw a couple plugs here for other YouTubes. Dr. Mike Israetel is one of my go-to YouTube guys. He makes a little bit of weird jokes, I will say. But he really gave me some good ideas. And then I also talked with my friend Chris Labonte. Know that you guys might know him, fellow Damon PT guy.
Yep.
So with that, I think that I'm forgetting your question here.
About supplements.
Yeah. So between them, Chris's real recommendation was creatine. 5 milligrams a day of creatine. Really, there isn't any research that was negative towards creatine. Obviously, check with your doctor on any supplements is what I would generally say. But
the More Life Podcast, this is not medical advice.
Yeah.
This is just experience.
But creatine, I'm also taking beta alanine, ashwagandha, and then general multivitamins.
Ashwagandha is that
that's
stuff that Aaron Rodgers did like
Aaron Rodgers
overseas?
stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think that it's actually not bad. I started taking a lot of the same stuff at the same time, but overall, like I am mentally more clear than past months before I started taking anything or before I was like going to the gym all the time. So I think it's a combination of the exercise, the supplements, and everything like that. But
And you can't take that away from a cave, right? Because Aaron Rodgers likes to be in the cave and doing that. You don't have to be in a cave to do it, right?
no.
Okay.
No. And you don't have to do the shrooms either or any of that stuff. But
all the stuff that comes along with it. Yeah.
maybe if you're going on the deep end a little bit, but hey, he's his own character. But yeah, I think that one of the other ones that recently, Chris Williamson, big podcast guy, if you guys know him.
Yep. He's got some good. He got some good podcasts. I listened to a little bit of him.
Yeah, I recently tried over the past 30 days his nootropic supplement. It's just add it to your drink in the morning, and I think that's another one that was really good. Felt like a noticeable difference taking
as far as energy goes, or
truly my ability to think actually.
So sharpness.
Yeah, cognitively. Which I think is a little bit about the creatine targets as well. Besides the more that muscle mass production is, there was a cognitive element too with using that creatine, which I've heard advertised and I've tried a little myself. And hard to say if I've noticed a difference, but also I don't know that I've tried it long enough over a period of time to really establish that. But
right. Yeah, creatine. I think you have to drink a lot of water when you're on creatine, right?
You do, yeah, because it messes with your kidneys a little bit. So you need more water to absorb that.
Yeah,
balance everything out.
If you're not already drinking a good amount of water, which most people are kind of struggling with in the first place.
Yeah, very much, yeah.
Then it can be difficult. But it's actually kind of cool is in terms of with creatine, your water weight adds to the scale a lot. If you do get to hold on to it for, a couple months, maybe 60 days or so, you'll start to notice that for sure. Because that's really when my peak started happening is after the creatine water started building up in all the muscles, get bigger flex in the gym. And I think that really I was kind of just perplexed. So I asked Chris Labonte again that we did the math for him at 5'8" and me at 6'1", based on water weight and bone mass. He would be at 177 to be the same body build as me, the same body fat percentage.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm following.
I would have to weigh 199 pounds. So there's a 17-pound gap, or 27-pound gap right there, between around 25 to 27 pounds difference, literally just in body weight and bone structure. Body water and bone structure.
Wow.
For those 5 inches. So 5 inches is 25 pounds. So almost 5 pounds per inch of height, just based on water and bone. That's actually crazy. It took me forever to get that out, but
well, I followed you. I got what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mike was kind of looking.
I mean, I gotta have it.
Kind of not.
Yeah.
But
Well, first I was trying to get the math. I was like, is that the math? I don't know.
see, I just ignore the math. I'm putting my trust in Chris.
Yeah.
Me and Math don't.
See,
go
I'm a
together.
numbers guy, so I got it. I gotta go with the
Okay,
math.
okay,
But
it was the beverages before.
Yeah.
That's what we're going with.
Now, so you're undergoing this 40 pounds, 40 pounds in 4 months process. But what's crazy about it is you're also at the same time training for marathons and triathlons, which in my head is if you're training for those things, it's more endurance, it's more strenuous on your body. You're probably losing more weight. So how are you doing that?
Yeah. At first, I think that it was really a challenge to even put my mental away for a minute. I had to kind of step away from any running, any cardio for a couple of the months.
Yeah.
And really just focus on adding in the calories. Now that I'm at a point that I think, based on my cheap scale that I have at my house, 10 pounds of fat and 30 pounds of muscle was how the 40 pounds kind of broke down.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
still very good.
I think that if I, get back into the full running things, then I'll be able to lose a couple of those fat pounds, get the body fat percent back down. And, I think that really you have to be mindful of what your true goal is. And at the time of gaining the weight, it was just bulk up as much as I can, and I'll grind down for the triathlon training after. So over the past month or so, a little bit over a month, I've been doing an hour of biking like pretty much every single day until about a little over a week ago. And I know that we were talking about it. That
something popped up out of the blue.
Yep. Not so fun circumstance. I was biking every day for an hour, doing my general lift for pretty much an hour, and then doing fun activities on the side for probably like an hour every single day. I got a little too fun with my 9 to 5 and my free time that I recently had. So, I don't have any kids or anything, so I just kept on doing stuff. And I was definitely doing too much, that's for sure. And I was not stretching. I was not rolling out any of my muscles at all. I was just going full, 100%, 0 to 100. I was not training at all for months, and then went right into the 40-pound gain and then the hour-long bike rides.
That's the big thing I think it was, is like you gained 40 pounds and your body, your knees especially, are not used to carrying that extra weight. So when you're doing these exercises with the extra 40 pounds, it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
We're not used to this.
I was spending 2 hours in the gym. Like, how much more could I really ask of myself to spend another half an hour or so stretching too? I was like, oh. So, I ended up on my left knee not being able to do a full body weight squat even based on how tight my IT band and general muscles around it were. So I was obviously upset. I took a full week off, no strenuous activity like at all. I just did a little bit of stretching and then a little bit of rolling out and trying to do some ice and biofreeze.
Yeah. Did you find it hard like going back into the groove after that week off?
I have still found it hard. I don't think I'm even close to back to it from now because it's really only still been like a couple, like probably like 5 days since I've even tried to do anything kind of strenuous on it. My hour-long bike rides, still haven't even tried a full hour long. I've just been doing a half an hour.
When you say like hour bike ride, how much of that is like kind of just like some casual light biking, and how much is like intense, like I'm really going at it here?
That's good. I think that the way that I think about it is we used to have a scale as like between 1 and 4. 1 would be light activity. 2 would be like moderate. You could hold the conversation. 3 would be uncomfortable, so you could kind of get some words out, but you'd have to take a breath during the middle of the activity. And then 4 is like, I'm not talking because I'm so out of breath right now that like, you'd be crazy to try to talk. So, kind of like a dead sprint at that point. And I think that the way that I try to do the hour-long bike ride is kind of a bounce between 2 and 3, kind of like where I'm not really talking to anybody, but I think that I want to be in a spot where like I could have a conversation. Yeah. I'm not trying to fully kill myself by the end of the hour. I'm trying to make sure that like, I get a good workout in, my aerobics going, my heart rate's in like the 150 zone, getting that heart pumping, building the cardiovascular going.
Gotcha. So like a lot of time you're kind of bouncing back and forth between like moderate intensity to more severe intensity, with kind of saving a little bit in the tank for like that higher level, like I got to finish here, versus also having some time in it where we're kind of just like having that lighter intensity, so we're not really pushing ourselves as hard. So that makes sense.
Yeah, my RPMs on there, because I stare at those, is really I want to try to stay around 75 on the stationary bike, 75 RPMs. So I know some people are big watts guys that are big bikers.
That power.
I don't look at the watts. I'm looking at the RPMs. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, it's good you do like the percent heart rate too, because that's really your like true measure of how hard you're working, really. So I mean, that's definitely the best way to do it, I would say. It's give you a better objective measurement for you anyway. So.
Yeah.
This is a weird, totally random topic, but do you guys ever notice on like specifically urinals that
Where's it going? Where's it going?
like on top of the urinal,
concerned.
It's, I believe the abbreviation is GPF. When you were saying like RPM and like that's what made me think of it. I think it stands for gallons per flush.
Really? I don't think
like. Have you ever thought about? Like,
I don't think I've seen this abbreviation, honestly.
Yeah. Well, next time you're at a urinal, take a look down. and
I don't know if I'm.
Take a look. Take a peek.
Just take a look at the
Take a
urinal,
peek.
and I think I would assume that a higher GPF would mean a more powerful urinal. So just your random fact for the day.
Thank you.
Just had to throw that in
I'm
there.
so
I don't know why I
happy.
thought of that, but I did.
Do you think like different like urinals need that higher GPF? Like what's
Not
the,
urinals.
what's like the?
Not urinals.
Didn't you say urinals?
Yeah. I don't think a urinal needs a high GPF.
No, I'm saying my question is like what bathroom is like what setting do you need this higher GPF?
I'm thinking at the gym. We just talked about the creatine water intake.
That's true.
Yeah,
definitely
I
the
mean,
gym.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably like a sporting.
I would assume
event.
they'd use the same scale for toilets, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a toilet probably has a higher
Oh, for
GPF
sure. I
than
would
a
say so.
urinal,
It's got to get everything down. Yeah.
True.
right?
True.
You got to
Yeah.
force
You gotta
solids
Yeah, you do.
rather than liquids.
True.
You know.
Sometimes a mix of both.
You
I
never
mean,
know.
when I was at the gym yesterday, I heard some other stuff coming out. You know.
Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, yeah, you never know what
you
you're
know,
gonna
it wasn't me. I mean, it was the guy next to me.
Sounds like it
but,
was you.
You know, hey. But
Anyways,
We
back
won't point
to what we
fingers.
were talking about. Back to what we were talking about. You did sign up for triathlons. You told me.
Yep.
So a triathlon, for people who don't know, you want to explain what it is?
yeah, so well, there's different levels. So sprint level, intermediate level, and then half and full are really the ways that most people think about it, I think. And I'm currently signed up for mostly sprint triathlons. So a sprint would be the shortest distance, and then obviously a full triathlon would be, the longest distance.
Yeah.
More where you think of Ironman, if you ever heard of an Ironman.
Yep.
Triathlons, again, are swimming, biking, and then running. You do it in that order. So the sprint will be, I think it's, well, technically every single one can be a little different on the distances, but generally it's about like 800 meters of a swim, and then the bike should be about 15 miles, and then the run is 6 miles. So back to back to back, all three of those events. Intermediate would be, I think it's like about a mile, a little over a mile for the swim. Then I think it's around still like pretty much doubling the thing. So 30 miles for a bike and then 13-mile run.
Wow. Yeah. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously you can't just jump into this. Like, it takes a lot of training. How much do you concentrate on? Obviously you're doing your cycling, you're doing your running, but like, I'm curious how you're training as far as swimming goes. Is there any training for swimming?
Nope.
he's like, I took a shower this morning.
Are you able to swim without the floaties?
Floaties, that's a good first step.
I am able to swim without the floaties.
Okay, that's a good start.
It is a good start. But I will tell you, I was at the local gym with a pool, and there was people in their 60s that were outpacing me with ease. So I don't like the fact that was possible.
Yeah, so that's kind of on the back burner right now.
But yeah, it's definitely on the back burner. I don't really know what they're eating for breakfast, or if they're just in there every day, or if they were Olympic swimmers and I didn't ask. But
Well, a lot of times, like those older people, it's what they do, because when you enter the water, there's a lot less pressure on your joints, so that's their main source of exercise. I know in PT, that's a really big thing.
Yeah, it is. A lot of times it gives them that like kind of that resistance training in a way it's more easy on their joints because, like you said, it's less stress on those bones and joints, and it's a lot of times more fun for them too. So
Yeah, I
they
mean,
just enjoy
they're
it more.
essentially just like part, what do you call them, amphibian? Or
amphibian. Yeah.
Amphibians, they swim, right?
They swim. They do.
Like tadpoles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's probably why they're just in there just dominating.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I was doing 750 meters that day. I was literally just going to do the full sprint event as my workout.
Okay.
So I just tried to go out freestyle, right?
Yeah.
Just regular swim style, arm over arm.
Yep.
And then I realized after, I think it's like 32 laps in a general size pool. If you're at your local gym, it should be about that. And I was 10 laps in. I touched the wall for the 10th lap, and I was like, I'm not finishing this.
I can't do 3 times this.
I have to do this, 20 some more laps. Holy moly.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, let's switch up. I went to breaststroke,
Yep.
froggy style. did that for the rest, and I was able to finish. I definitely took way longer than I thought I would. It was like, I think I put it in my notes, somewhere around like 20-some minutes.
So the rest was breaststroke that you did?
Yep.
That's surprising because I feel like freestyle probably the easiest one I would say to do, or at least one of those where I feel like you get the farthest with lighter amount of effort. That's surprising. You're able to do.
Because you're above the water, you're moving your arm.
Yeah.
Where under, you're moving just more
Plus,
pressure.
with the breaststroke, it's one kind of each movement's like one big motion, whereas the freestyle it's kind of lighter motions for more repetitive period.
But you're probably using different muscles.
Yeah, you for sure are. But I feel like just overall, it's like biomechanically a little bit easier. But that's surprising to hear you say that, though.
Yeah. Well, so I asked a couple swim people, and they were saying that in terms of actual effort, freestyle should be it should be way easier than doing the breaststroke.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah.
But in terms of just like the way that I was, inefficient or something, had to be for my freestyle, or at least maybe my breathing was bad. That I finding it easier to breathe every time I came up from the breaststroke to actually get.
That makes me think if you kind of just invest a little bit into like maybe your swimming technique with the freestyle, that could be like your best way to get going, because it sounds like if you're able to do 20 laps with the breaststroke, you're already you have the strength and everything to do it. It's just like maybe like you mentioned the inefficiency with the freestyle. If you can get that down, that could be like your main way to see those big gains. I would say.
Yeah, just split a 50-50 there, and you're golden.
Yeah. So I mean, if there's any listeners that want to coach somebody on how to swim better, and you're an expert in some capacity.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. We'll refer you.
Yeah. I might. I need you. I actually need you.
We'll get your people in contact with our people.
Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, I think that I need that for sure. My base on my actual running, since I've done a couple marathons before, are really like where I'm most confident is my running. I'm a little less confident in my biking compared to my running, mainly because I've seen some triathlon guys able to hold crazy paces on their bike. So I don't if we were thinking about my 75 RPMs on a bike, that's about 15 miles, 16 miles an hour. There's some guys that'll do the triathlon that'll be pushing 30 miles an hour. It is insane.
No.
I mean, obviously they have, a $3,000 bike, $10,000 bike, something like that.
Right,
They're
the equipment helps.
Riding on. But, my $1,000 bike, I don't know that I'm ever going to get to 25 mile an hour or so. I mean, I've hit like 20 miles an hour with my friend once when we were, grinding going down a hill. But yeah, that's a lot. So I'm confident in my running ability to be able to start to pass some people, but we'll see how it actually goes on that first one. It's going to be a lot of learning the transitions and such. When we think about the going from swim to bike to run, you have to truly be in motion the whole time. Really, you're going straight from the water, dripping wet. Get your towel from your bag next to your bike and.
Yeah.
Do a quick wipe off and then just jump on the bike, get that chafing going, and you're just having a blast. So
do you just wear like a spandex suit or something, or what's the attire like?
Yeah, so there is some expensive ones you can buy that'll be a little bit better and
Aerodynamic.
Yeah, aerodynamic,
dry
a little
wicking.
bit wetsuit, with a dry wick type situation, but. I haven't invested in buying a few $100 one. I'm thinking about just getting a cheap one off Amazon or something. But
you don't need it.
Right now I've just been wearing spandex and underwear is my main go-to.
There you
go. There's biking pants that kind of have a little bit of pad for your butt. That's what I'm wearing. It makes your butt look a little bit extra big.
Yeah,
kind of
get that Lululemon.
Yep, pretty much.
Stop it, Lulu.
So. Yeah, I'm wearing one of those whenever I bike for a really long time. I haven't been doing it on my stationary bike for an hour. Maybe I should probably throw that into the practice a little bit just so
just so you're used to it.
Yeah, that weird feeling.
Yep.
But, I haven't actually thought about that at all until right now. So good that we talked about it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're at the MMore Life Podcast.
That's
we like to bring more life to people.
We like to bring more life to people, so that's good.
Good little plug.
So, anyways, there's definitely a couple more facts that I think you should share with the audience about yourself.
It's true.
I know one of your first jobs was you worked at Lasertron, which is like a laser tag company.
Yep.
Any information you want to share doing with that?
Well, Lasertron is a pretty cool place here in Buffalo. Personally recommend not to go to Buffalo Battlegrounds if you know who they are. Go to Lasertron. A little rivalry there. Just so you guys know.
Seems to be a rivalry.
It's like a Boston Red Sox Yankees type style, baseball
big time.
style.
That's big time.
So right down the street from each other. Two of the exact same type of companies.
Very close.
But anyway, I played a lot of laser tag while I was there. Kind of learned the ins and outs. Was one of the managers there for a year or so during COVID as well. Not the bestest time, but I started to really, really play with some of the really good people that came like every month, every week.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually joined a tournament that was in the Northeast with a lot of nerds like myself.
And when you say Northeast, you're talking more than just New York State. You're talking multiple states in the Northeast of the United States.
Yep.
Okay.
So pretty much Michigan, Ohio, and New York are three of the bigger zones. But there's people from like Virginia and Maryland that are flying out to come and meet for the tournament. And first year was a little bit of a learning experience.
Of course, makes sense.
There's different types of laser tag. I don't know how much laser tag you guys have ever played.
Really casual. Real casual.
I mean, yeah, there was obviously some blood, sweat, and tears, but I mean, it's mostly casual, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not first, you're last, right? I mean,
yeah.
That's how it goes. But so there's different types of laser tag. All kinds of tech stuff if you're really into that. Where there's all kinds of packs, all types of laser type of packs where you're either shooting your gun really fast or potentially really, really slow.
I have seen that, like, when you go off into like the side room before laser tag and like the guy like up front like explains the rules and he's like, you press this button for like a rapid, but it only lasts like so long.
Yep.
And then he's got like the TV screen with, I kind of zone out usually in that time, but yes, I get what you're saying, like the perks and stuff.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of systems like that. And at this tournament, they combine every system that's created into one tournament, and you have to play the tournament with all of the different types of packs with your team.
Oof.
So Lasertron is one type of equipment, one system.
Okay.
And you have to learn all those other systems and then compete with all the other people.
How many other systems are there?
I don't know the exact number, but there's generally about 8 that you play at the tournament.
Okay.
Some of them get rotated out.
Yeah, still, I mean, 8 systems is a lot. It's like learning almost like a new set of rules.
Yeah,
it'd be like knowing how to play like hockey or soccer and like knowing those rules by heart. And then someone coming in and saying like offsides is non-existent.
Yeah, a big one is that at those types of tournaments that normally when you're holding your phaser, you're holding it up in front of your chest at Lasertron. You're tagging everybody like this.
Yeah.
That's actually illegal in multiple of the other systems where you'd be blocking your chest sensor by having your phaser up and like this. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, anyway, the next year that I went, after that first year of kind of learning experiences, I ended up being on the winning team of the Armageddon tournament of 2024.
All right.
Woo.
And how many teams were there?
I think there's 6 teams of about 8 people.
Wow.
So
all right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The end of score rankings, they ranked everybody based on their individual score in each system.
All right.
And they take all of your kills, all your deaths on every single game and everything like that, and how much points you got from tagging the bases and such. And I was ranked 2 out of the entire U.S., and there was people that came from Europe to come and play into it too. So
wow. So you're like basically McDavid.
I mean, you might as well, just call me an Olympian or something. But
so do you have plans? Do you have plans of going back and chasing that number 1?
I don't know if I'll be able to get that number 1. There are some solid people, and I think I got a little lucky on my score. But because
well, no, you didn't get lucky. You don't say that.
Yes, I'm humble. Okay. There was a couple people that since I was on the winning team, my score was a little inflated from being on the winning team.
All right, I think that makes sense.
But I was the highest scoring player on my team.
Okay.
But since we were winning more, I was technically scoring more since we were winning more.
Okay.
But in the Lasertron format, all of those games that we did play, which was about 6 games, we swept that entire section. So every single one of those games we won based on my strategy of knowing
the Lasertron rules.
The Lasertron ways of trying to get the best points. So I think that was a pretty good little highlight of that career piece.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. And it's like, do you even like train for this, or is this just like a skill you've learned over the years and you have in the back pocket?
There are some people that'll go pretty crazy on the training. They go to like nationals and stuff for their individual systems, and it's still a small scene, obviously. But there's young guys in there. There's some old guys in there. There's some people that have the tricks of the trades from being in there for like 20 years. But there's some guys that are just athletic like me and just trying to run around really really fast and see if you can out tag everybody.
Yeah.
But there's some military guys too that are fierce. They're hugging the corners the right way. They know exactly how to execute, like going into a specific area and like making the call outs to each other. And it's really interesting when you think about it that
it is.
Those types of people could be in this, and
Yeah, they must just just love kind of that battlefield vibe, but also they want to get themselves away from a position where they're in kind of real danger. So it's I guess it's a good way. That's a good medium to do that, I would suppose.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't spark PTSD or something.
Oh, I'm sure if they had that, they know they wouldn't want to do that.
Right, yeah, they definitely wouldn't do that if they had any PTSD.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just an interesting thing in general. There's small scene. It's not too expensive to get into. It's not too strenuous of an activity. It's not anything crazy, and it's a fun tournament. For the most part, it's like a non-profit organization for the Armageddon team itself. They put that together, and it's like about $400-$500 for you to be with the entire tournament to pay to get in. There is no prize pool winning besides just pride of really playing.
Just really inflating that ego.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
but it is a good cause, that you get to with that buy-in. It's really just to play at all the different facilities. There's different arenas that we're playing at, and they obviously are businesses we're trying to support. And then you get your hotel room and your bus to drive you around, kind of chauffeur you to each location.
Right, it's more of like an experience.
Yeah, it's just an experience with a good community, good people, and everybody brings their own beverages, and everybody just has a good time. So
that's awesome.
You said you were like a manager at Lasertron. My question would be, I would always feel like, obviously, any manager has to kind of do like a clean sweep of the place before you leave. Has there ever been like an issue with like kids kind of like staying behind like those dark rooms and kind of just trying
like
to
a YouTube video? Like I spent 24 hours in Lasertron?
Yeah.
So I never had any of those situations.
But you tried.
I did think about it though. When I was leaving some of the times, I was doing some of those weird checks, underneath the staircase type thing. There's like doors with
thorough in a place like that, I would think.
Oh, for sure.
It can be weird. Like especially imagine like how dark it gets when you turn off all of the lights and all of the structures.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk in the pitch black. It is like a scary movie, like dark room.
Yeah, are there big lights?
Yeah, there's the big lights. So you have to walk all the way to the back of the arena, open up like a dusty old generator type room, flick off all the switches, and then you turn around and it's just complete darkness. Wow. It's like any of those video games that are horror movies where you have your flashlight flickering.
Wait, so you have to do that every night?
Every night.
So why wouldn't they put the light switch near the front?
You would think.
So they make you go through the maze to turn off all the lights.
There's all of the pillars, all of the maze. So you're turning corners, thinking that, if Billy was around the corner who was closing with you and he just wanted to play a prank, he could be hiding behind the pillar and he could jump out and scare the shit out of you. Yeah. It is an experience. I would swear when I was leaving that room, there's like a ramp to the right side on like the Lasertron arena. It's like a ramp that goes up and down, can pretty much make like half the arena. I would book it to the wall, sprint down the side there, because I was just scared of the dark that somebody was going to pop out. There's some gremlin or something that was going to eat me.
That's like level 100 of taking out the trash at midnight.
That's true.
Yes.
Level 100. We're talking multiplying.
Yeah.
So anyone out there that's listening that knows taking out the trash at night,
especially
can be a very scary thing.
He's
multiplied it.
You're like midway through, you hear that one little sound like a little creak or something. You just go, who is that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Yeah, and there were some people that would be that guy that would be like, as soon as you exit the room of the darkness and you go back into really where the people and the customers would be, he'd be waiting right inside that door, that waiting room you were talking about, and then he would do that kind of scare thing. there was one time that he did it to me. I swear I screamed out like a little girl, and then I never wanted to ever have an experience like that again. And I think that he knew that he just scared me so deeply that I don't think that he wanted to do it to anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's rough. And the other thing, too, I got a question about is that I remember we used to go to Lasertron for a couple of birthday parties for friends when we were younger, probably middle school age, and they always had that Lasertron surprise. What is the surprise, and what's in the surprise?
And when you're referring to surprise, for the people that may not know, it was a drink. It
was a drink, yes. I'll refer to that as a drink at Lasertron. You go over to the guy and say, listen, I want a Lasertron surprise with my pizza, and he brings you some type of drink that could be anywhere from a glass of milk to
Dog water.
dog water. Yeah,
Like anything in between.
in between. I think I got a bug in it one time actually. It was a
Oh
little-
no!
But it is a surprise.
It's a surprise.
I guess so.
Which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the surprise.
Was there
yeah.
a specific recipe to the surprise, or did the surprise change?
So each employee kind of had their own little twist on their
Gotcha.
surprise.
Okay, so it could change.
So technically everybody could have done a little bit different. But my specific surprise.
Ooh. Is this controversial? Is this something that shouldn't be said
Yeah,
for
can
the
this
public?
Technically,
be
I don't
said?
think that the public has ever heard this, to my knowledge.
Wow.
Breaking news.
The
This
More
is
Life
breaking news.
Podcast. Breaking news.
This is
millions
probably,
about to hear.
I might have signed an NDA that I don't even know about that I might be breaking here. But we would be hitting most of the buttons on the pop gun. Those regular Pepsi guns there. We'd be hitting pretty much every button on there besides the water button and the soda button. So that'd be just regular water and regular soda water. We'd be Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Fanta, Mountain Dew, Serum Mist, Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
We'd just be putting them all in there.
Okay.
Pink
so Pepsi
lemonade,
products.
pink lemonade, iced tea. We'd put it all in there. It tastes somewhat like Skittles, is what a lot of people would say, because there's
Yep.
just so many flavors, so many things going on
So much
within your
sugar.
mouth.
Some would
so
even
much
get
sugar.
diabetes afterwards.
You might want to avoid it if you're
I heard there was like
predisposed.
three confirmed cases at the
Whoa,
the Amherst
whoa,
location.
whoa.
That's what I heard.
But yeah, so my general way that I would do it was I would do a little heavy on the Fanta, a little heavy on the Mountain Dew, give it that extra color and give it that extra little bit of caffeine and bubbles going on there. Because the
Little bit
Fanta
of-
gives it the bubbles, the
Yeah.
Mountain Dew gives it that extra little caffeine shot.
So you definitely edge towards the citrus
yeah.
flavor. Okay. All right.
And I think that's what got the kids going. As soon as they started running around too much, the parents would bring them home, which was, good for me because then that way I wouldn't have to be serving the party as long.
Right. Right.
So
So, top 5. I want to incorporate this top 5 into every
Yes, top
episode.
Top five.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a nice top 5. I know, Mike, I think you came up with a top 5 you'd like to ask
I
us.
had top 5. So what we're gonna try and do is a top 5 for every one of the guests. That kind of is more individualized toward them. So
Yes.
my top 5 question would be: the whole world is kind of your canvas here. Top 5 places you would love to go for a run in planet Earth.
interesting, actually.
Whole world.
So
It's not like a list, not like number one rank, 2 rank, nothing like
Yeah.
that. Just 5.
So I think, number one, it popped in my head before you even finished the question, is there's a marathon or at least a run of some kind that is on the Great Wall of China.
Oh,
Really? Wow.
I think that's
Wow.
pretty cool.
how the Great Wall of China is
Very long.
very long.
Very long. So
it probably lost the
Many
duration
miles,
of
yes.
the Great Wall.
yeah, so I would, that'd be pretty cool. Just actually, I don't think anybody's done that yet. That could be a cool
Yes.
YouTube video. Just run
Very
the Great
much.
Wall of China. I know that there's some breaks in it, so
Yeah.
that could probably be a little weird running through the jungle or something. With some hills and valleys and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Great video, though, I'll tell you that.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll have to book a trip over.
Yeah, I guess so. You guys could be my videographers, and
Sure.
one
Yeah.
of you guys could be doing the audio, one of you guys could be doing the video, and I'll just be doing the running and hating my life. Anyway, I think number 2 is probably going to be. I think that it'd be really cool on like a semi-active volcano, like running around the
Ooh,
volcano.
okay.
Are we
Yeah.
I
talking
think that'd be pretty cool.
splattering lava? Or
No, like-
not
so, like-
quite. You hear it rumbling.
You could probably like see it or hear it like in the pit if you actually like peeked over. I'm probably not going to get as
I
close
was
to
gonna say,
peek
so are
over.
you talking that close to peek over?
but like,
You talking like you ever seen like Star Wars?
I've seen some Star Wars, but I'm not going to be an expert on
Okay,
maybe your
okay.
story here. But
Well, say there's that one scene where, like the fight scene in that lava
yes,
planet.
yes.
You'd be like running the side of that while they're doing their fight.
yeah, exactly.
You'll be on the side, get a few of that,
You
and
just see me in the
lava.
background being
Yeah.
like, "Stay hard," David Goggins
David
style.
Goggins. Dodging lava
Look,
splatters.
Yes.
Goggins, yeah, I see that.
Also, good YouTube video.
True. Especially if we have some fight scene going in the back.
Yes.
Well, without losing my legs, I would hope.
That's a good start.
The thing that I would, after the volcano, I think that I'm really just looking for a nice rainforest. One that doesn't have too many poisonous frogs and stuff.
yeah.
So probably not the Amazon.
not like nip at your
Yeah,
ankles
but
while
like-
you're trying to finish the race or something.
Maybe outskirts of
run.
Amazon. I feel like as you get deeper, it's a little sketchy, but
Yeah, like
outskirts maybe.
I think if you're running in the Amazon forest, you might get lost and
It's
fully
like a bad.
just
I heard it's
never
like a bad
come out.
neighborhood of a city. It's like you just gotta avoid the bad areas. There's a couple bad streets. Other than that, it's
Yeah,
great though.
Yeah,
it's probably like that.
They have like their hoods, and then they
Yeah,
have
they got those
the rich areas where you
Yeah.
got like the pumas and
Exactly. Yeah, those guys are always down for a good time.
Yeah, but then once you get to like the anacondas and like
that's
snakes
trouble
and
over
stuff,
there.
good luck.
Because they like their territory. They're not going to be like very interactive with like newcomers. You know.
I'm just thinking like I'm gonna hit a bush or something and it's a Venus flytrap or something and just eat me.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I don't know if a Venus flytrap would do damage to you, would it?
You would think, right? One of those giant ones.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
would-
the
yeah,
giant
I would
ones.
think so.
Yeah,
It's
I'm thinking
close
like
on
one of
you.
those mini ones.
No,
But
yeah,
the
yeah.
giant ones probably would do.
And I'm thinking in the Amazon rainforest, those things got to be a few feet, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
They're big. Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, like the little poisonous
They're
frogs.
kind of uninhabited. You know. So like, I mean, there's some people going in there, but it's not like Mr. Johnson like clipping his like trees and the bushes over on the side of the house in the suburbs. You know, it's a whole different ball game out there.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. So after the rainforest, I think honestly, this is gonna be a little bit of a deep one, but
Like a deep cut. Let's hear it.
We
my-
like deep cuts here, yeah.
my high school track team. That'd be probably
Wait,
With your
with
just
your track team.
just with them. I don't even care where for that one, but
Wow.
I'm just gonna say
Would you say preferably
was-
at the track?
that would actually be a pretty cool one. Yeah,
Pretty nostalgic,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I can't say. You know what? Continue. I don't
No,
want to change.
that's it,
I don't want
that's
to change the topic. I want to
No,
hear
yeah,
the
that's-
rest
that
because
was a
there's
good
one
one.
more top 5, so I want to hear your last one.
And I think the last one, I'm gonna say that I want to do the Boston Marathon as
Classic.
that last one.
Classic.
I gotta actually
That's a classic.
qualify for that one, so it's a little bit less of a location and more of a prestige for
Yeah.
that one. So
Yeah. No, that's. I mean,
Is that one very hard to get into? I'm assuming.
yeah, so the times on that are pretty impressive. Last time I looked it up, it was very fast. I think that it was 2:35, 2 hours 35 minutes. I think was what the actual time was. I don't
Wow.
think that that's crazy in terms of like those caliber people, but if it is still 2:35, I think that the next part was that there were so many people that were qualified based on how good people have gotten at running
okay.
that you had to be like 10 minutes under the qualifying time just to be on the wait list, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that kind of defeats the purpose of a I mean, maybe not of a qualifying time, because if you qualify, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get
it's
it,
A
I get it.
it's a little wanky, but I like that word that
It's
I
almost
used.
like if you
Wonky
want
was
to
what I
be
was
able
going
to
for.
play in the game, you got to be more than good enough. It sounds.
Oh
like.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I mean, like under 2 hours or whatever was like the record. So like even getting like that's just getting crazy numbers here. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like most people's goals are like to try to get 4 hours. That's like really where I was my first one.
Wow.
3 hours and a half is where I was for like my second one and now it's really just try to get under 3 hours for now.
Yeah. So you're improving over the years.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I mean, I'm hoping that Boston Marathon time is I'm just wrong on that number. That it's a little bit higher than that, maybe 2:45, 2:50, something like that. That
Yeah.
seems a lot more attainable at the moment, but
Oh, for sure.
You
Yeah,
know.
with a little extra training. Right?
we'll see. We'll see what I get to. Just keeping on that grind and getting those times down.
Yeah. So Mike, you heard Chris' top 5.
Yeah.
I want you to just give me, unless you want to give more, but I just want to hear one from you. Unless you want to, unless
Okay.
you have more on the docket.
No, I haven't really thought about it too deeply, so
Okay,
I'd
okay.
be.
So we can put Chris under, the hot burner and like
Exactly.
catch him off guard, but
Always
not,
a
not
guess.
you.
No, that's right. I've earned my stake here. This is not my first rodeo. But let's think of one. Okay, so I'll break it down by continent here.
Oh,
So,
continent.
Yeah, so Australia, I run with the kangaroos. I mean, it'd be cool, but probably not my preferred.
Kangaroos
thing.
don't run; they more hop.
Well, yeah, but I'll be running though. I'm not really
You-
hopping. I won't be hopping.
Okay, so you wouldn't hop
No,
with
no,
them.
no.
You'd
And
run
they
with
wouldn't like punch you in the face.
I mean, they possibly
Oh.
would. Depends if I piss them off, I guess.
them. Fun fact here.
This is a good. I know where you're going with this. This is
yeah,
good. This is
see,
good.
same wavelength.
Yeah.
Why we have a podcast together.
True.
Me and Mike, obviously, senior year is the only year we did track in high school.
Decorated alumni.
Yes,
True.
very decorated. And before, honestly, I don't know if it was just track meets or even training days. I can't remember.
Yeah, I want to say it was meats, but I don't remember for sure.
I want to say we would go to the cafeteria. We'd get it'd be like a chicken patty on a bun, and I think an apple.
Yep, an apple.
And maybe like a bag of chips or something. And that would be like our pre-whatever meal. And we would watch videos on our phone of kangaroo fights.
Got hyped.
Yeah. It would really get you. I mean, try it.
I mean, okay, is it kangaroo versus kangaroo or,
Yep,
or
everything.
human versus kangaroo?
Everything.
If there's a kangaroo involved, we're watching it.
Yes. Like, you ever see the video of, like, the kangaroo that has the dog and the man runs up and, like, smacks it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty epic, but, like, we've watched that. That's an example.
I made varsity because of that video.
Oh yeah.
Like the first meet of the year, I was.
They put you down to JV for no reason.
It was,
I think it was solely on experience. I think
blasphemous.
Oh, no.
Your times
no.
were better. Your
They're
times
better.
were better.
The practice were better.
just
Putting
didn't
that
like
work
you.
in practice. That might be what it is.
You were a newbie. That's all it was.
Anyways, the first meet was on JV, but we listened to that. We watched that video, the kangaroo and the dog fight. I kind of felt something like awakening inside me, and then on the track meet, I said I kind of used that inner channel to use that for that race, for that 40-meter high hurdles, 100-meter high hurdles, and I just let it out, and then the rest is history.
The rest is history. You can go back to NW and look in the books. You'll see it.
You'll see it.
School record right there. That's what. That's.
I mean, not quite, but yeah.
Not quite close. Very, very close.
His school record. Okay, his school record.
Yep. I'm trying to, that one place I would love to run. It's hard to say. I feel like somewhere through like the mountains, I would say.
Mountains.
Somewhere in the Midwest, like one of those states like Utah, Colorado, Montana. Running through there would just be with mountains in the background, kind of going up and down those little peaks. That
would be pretty cool.
Experience.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I don't have any kind of specific spot, I would say.
You're just imagining the scene.
Exactly. I'm kind of picturing out the scene right now.
A little waterfall in the background.
Yeah,
birds flying.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen driving by.
Your iPhone with holding that in your one hand while you run by.
Not bad.
That's got to be the scene right there.
Yeah.
I wonder what David Goggins' answer would be.
Probably midnight, freezing rain.
Yeah.
Probably something crazy like that. Like he just wants to suffer.
What other people don't want to do, that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
True.
That's just how he is. That's how he rolls.
That's how he's built.
Yeah. You know he's from like the Buffalo area?
I did not know that.
He is? Where?
Yeah. I don't know exactly where,
okay.
but I know that he was like pretty much in the Buffalo area for the
wow.
majority of his
What was the
childhood
exact reason
life.
he got famous in the first place?
I think he was a very large man, and I think he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he was like 375 pounds or something like that.
So he came because of his like weight loss and like his motivational journey.
Yeah, well, I mean, his story from like his first book, I think is really where he like popped off, where he like lost a crazy amount of weight, but as he was losing the weight, he did a run for some of his friends that he knew, where he broke both of his feet during the run.
He just kept going.
Yeah, and just kept going. Like
yeah,
he was just that fed up with his own life, his own living style situation and everything, and then he just wanted to prove it to his friends.
Yeah, I'm saying this is my opinion as like someone who's not really a runner, and not someone who's kind of pushed myself through running, because running's not really an interest in me. There's many other fitness things I'd rather do besides running, but my opinion is that if you can really push through anything with running, I feel like no matter what, I mean, not everything, but like there's a lot of scenarios where, like the Goggins example, where you got like 2 fractures and you can still push through. I think that's one beautiful thing about running is you can, no matter what it is, if you want it bad enough, you can get it. I feel like
there is definitely some oomph to what you're saying for sure.
Because it's like law of physics. Once you're starting, it's hard to stop. Once you're stopping, it's hard to start again.
That's definitely true. Definitely once you're if you try to like walk in between, it's definitely way harder to get going again. But I think that there's truly a mental battle once you reach a certain amount, whether you're actually trained or whether you're not trained. And I think like the best thing if you're a marathon person is approximately between like mile 20 and mile 23, there is a mental warfare that you face within your own brain.
Yeah,
you do not want to keep doing this. Even if you've done it before, you do not want to do this anymore. And especially when you get to David Goggins type style, that is like what fuels him. I don't know how.
That's where he lives, yeah.
I will say that on my second marathon, that fully did hit me around mile 24 and a half, 25. I only had like a little bit over a mile left to go, and I was like, I've watched enough David Goggins videos. Yeah. I know I'm in the pain spot right now. I'm gonna go, and I went from 8 minutes and 35 or 8 minutes and like 30 seconds in like the mile prior to 7-minute mile in my last mile and a half.
I don't think I explained that very well, but what I was mainly trying to say was that there's a much more of like a mental strength importance with running compared with some other things. That's basically what I was trying to.
That's true, and I think that like that's definitely the case. Like I think like once you truly hit like muscular fatigue on like a bench press, you know, there's at some point where like your muscles, you know, you're gonna just drop the weight on your neck and it's not gonna be good. But you know, once you're actually running for a certain amount, you know, your knee might hurt. You could like the thing that he says is like, can I take one more step? And most of the time, the answer is going to be yes. You can take one more step. And if you can take one more step, after you take that step, you ask yourself again, can I take one more step? And if you can, you just keep that process going, and you can really make it a lot further than you think. So, yeah, I think that there's a lot of weight to what you were saying, for sure.
So motivational speaking for the episode. That's great.
Yeah.
True. Matt, he's like, that's great. Good job, guys.
That's great. We love it. We love it. We love it.
Hey, I mean, David Goggins is true motivation. Just pure.
Next time we're just going to record, we're just going to play. We're not going to talk. We're just going to play a video of David Goggins.
Just play a video on repeat of David Goggins saying,
Yeah, we could just have him on the podcast.
We could.
Instead.
That's
actually, you know, possibility. Yeah, you
we'll
just say, hey, we're a small Buffalo podcast. You know, you want to join us? And
I'm sure he would.
You know,
he would do it. Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I mean, he likes jumping out of planes. You know, just
hardest favorite color is blue. That also helps.
Yep, that helps.
Yeah.
Maybe we could incorporate a little more blue into the scene.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's all right.
I mean, maybe like you could just like get like a shower head to like come right here, so like there's some ice water or something.
Yeah.
Or like a treadmill.
Or just get like an ice bath that he can sit in.
Yeah, just like a.
That's true. That's like those Kevin Hart podcasts. You ever seen those?
Yep.
Like ice baths.
What's it called?
Yeah, I never seen.
I don't know what it's called, but yeah, he gets into an ice bath with like a celebrity of.
Yeah. Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and they just like talk.
Yeah, I think that David Goggins would probably like that. I wonder if he's been on that yet.
Probably has not. No.
It probably wouldn't have an effect on him.
I feel like him and Kevin Hart really aren't the same type of personality, though. Really, so.
Yeah, I don't know how that would clash.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be bad.
No, it'd be fine. I just don't know if Goggins would put up with Kevin Hart's kind of just like
comedic.
Yeah, his comedic expressions and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
He's kind of serious guy.
Yeah, he is.
It's a shout. So Kevin, if you're listening, maybe get David on.
We'll take Kevin on too. We'll take Kevin on here as well.
Yeah. Why not?
I mean, Kevin came to Buffalo recently. I think he went to what's that place? Helium Comedy Club.
Helium Comedy Club.
Yeah, I think he went there recently, or maybe it was Shays. I don't know, somewhere close. But yeah.
Any big questions for Chris?
Let me think.
Any hard-hitting questions?
Hard-hitting questions.
What didn't we talk about?
Yeah. Well, what else do you want to talk about? This is your opportunity to speak to the world. I mean,
literature.
You really have
World War I.
any time is your opportunity to speak to the world, but now you're on a different platform.
True.
Geometry. I'll list off the top. You tell me which ones ring the bell.
Yeah, Mike, you just keep going.
World War I, like I said, geometry, poetry in motion.
I got one.
Wings and things.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We already talked about gallons per flush, so cross that out.
What did you say? I didn't hear what you said.
Remember earlier, gallons per flush on the urinals?
Oh, right. Yeah,
so cross that out.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. That was my next thing I was going to say. That's good.
Actually, to bridge off that, I don't know the abbreviation, but toilet paper has it as well.
Oh.
Sheets per something. But like your thicker toilet paper is going to have a higher count of that. Yeah, I don't know what the abbreviation is, but it's a real thing. You should look into it. Because when you go into the stall at like, a store or something and it's like
so thin.
Paper thin. Like you got to
They say that's one of the things that determines like a good boss versus a bad boss. This is
exactly.
Like the amount of ply in toilet paper.
That's what it is, ply.
Yeah, ply. Because if you have a higher ply, that means like they are more attentive to your needs.
Yeah, they respect you.
Have less of ply, it's like.
Well, Chris is a former manager of multiple companies. I mean, you managed at what? Amazon, Tesla, Lasertron. So would you agree with that statement? As
I would say that the cheaper the company, the worse the toilet paper.
Yeah,
which is pretty much.
The question is now:
I don't really know the order of that.
Is it now? And the question is it correlation or causation? So, is the correlation like it's like they're related between the toilet paper and then the success of the company, or is the toilet paper causing the success or the downfall of the company?
Wow.
Next question.
Okay, that's a deep one. Let me think. My answer to that is
my thing is this. Before you even start.
Okay.
Because if the ply isn't good, the employees might not be as satisfied and comfortable in their working environments. If employees are not comfortable in their working environments, the production and the success of the company might suffer as a result.
Right.
I think this guy's spitting facts right now.
I think it's almost like a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're in the stall, like you're down bad. Like it's Taco Tuesday. It's Wednesday 1 p.m. Like it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
And you reach over to the toilet paper and it's super thin. Like what are you thinking? You're thinking your boss.
You're like, man.
the
It's like
CEO
snowball.
of your-
It's a snowball effect.
The CEO of your company does not care about you.
Versus, like, if it's thick, you're like, you know what? Things aren't going well, but they support me. They got me.
They got you.
They got me. So you have somewhere to go from there. You can
Right.
bounce back from that.
I'm less implied to quit if I have
Exactly.
thick toilet paper.
Exactly.
I completely agree with these statements here. I'm thinking of that 4,000 calorie diet, that high protein diet.
Listen,
that,
I'm sure, yeah.
that creatine.
Yeah.
going in
I'm
there,
sure you'd be
you know,
going through it
just-
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just thinking that it'd be pretty nice to have, some
Thick toilet paper.
Yeah.
Charmin Plus type action
Yeah.
going
Yep.
on. So
Put in that beer commercial and get going.
yeah.
Now we're linking the two here. Thicker ply, higher ply, you're gonna need. He knows. Finish it.
More gallons per flush.
Exactly.
There it is.
There it is.
More
So
life
now
and-
we're talking. It's a cost. It's a cost to the company.
Yeah.
So if you get thicker toilet paper, not only is the toilet paper thicker, being more of a cost, you got to upgrade your toilet.
That's true.
That's true.
So
Be expensive.
it's definitely it can get very expensive,
It
but it's
can.
I guess how much you care about your employees.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where you kind of try and find the areas that you can improve on. And if it's something like you feel like it's going to have that carryover effect into their work,
Right. If you
then
believe
you
that.
absolutely pull the trigger, I'd say.
And I mean, I think from my biased, personal experience as manager here, that I think that the Tesla had a higher ply count compared to Amazon. And I think that generally the employees were happier at Tesla. than
Wow.
they were.
Interesting.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
very
hearing it.
so.
You're hearing
I
it
mean-
first.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do. We really break things down at the More Life Podcast, and we want to, just make sure our viewers and listeners are
Yeah.
educated and experience more life.
We don't want them to kind of go. We don't want to leave any stone unturned. That's my thing.
Yeah. So basically, when you stop listening to this episode, whether you stopped listening to us 10 minutes ago, you clicked on it for 5 seconds and clicked off, or you're still listening now, we want you to, when you go to work tomorrow, even if you don't have to go, look at that ply.
Exactly. Even if you got a day off, just walk in real quick, check the ply, and then go carry on with your day.
And then if you have that suggestion box and you see that your ply count is a little low, put that suggestion in. See if your
Exactly.
management is going to do something about it.
Yep. And this is a totally off bank argument, but it matters.
Yeah,
it
well,
really
I think what
does.
you do is if you don't like it, you go to your coworker and say, "Hey, I got this this slip here. It says ply. This ply is not fly.
Oh,
We need to
that's a catch play.
We need to do something about this
The
fly.
ply's not fly.
No, it's not.
That's
Come
good.
That's
You
a
say-
petition.
You say, "Come on, guy, let's get this ply fly," and then you make action.
I mean, they
would
could
say.
turn into a strike.
It could.
Yeah.
Ideally not if you got the right
You
management.
could probably
but,
get somebody with a medical case. They
Honestly,
say that
yeah,
they-
that's a lawsuit.
Yeah, that's a lawsuit.
That's a
waiting to happen.
lawsuit.
low
I mean,
ply. They
I
got
know a couple lawyers. We could get something
You can
going.
do it.
Dang.
The wheels are in motion.
I mean, honestly, like you guys have 9 to 5 jobs. We might just edit this part out. No. Shh. You heard nothing. When we're all millionaires, you'll know.
Well, I feel like the video has been a nice touch. I feel like the flag's a nice touch.
I do.
I feel like our guest, nice touch.
Nice touch.
You got the pink on with the little birds.
Yeah, pink polo with the
Yeah.
birds.
What
I
kind
mean,
of
I don't know if
birds
our
are they?
camera's that good. You could probably get close up to him though.
I don't know if it's actually.
They might see it. They might see
yeah,
it.
you might.
But I
Sam's
think
Club
Is that
plug.
pelican on there?
Sam's Club plug.
Those pelicans,
I don't know.
I would say seagulls,
seagulls.
right? Seagulls
Yeah,
would probably
correct.
make sense.
Yeah,
They're
Sam's-
I think
Sam's
they're-
Club,
I
like
think they're American
$7?
Eagles, actually.
American Eagles.
American Eagles.
American Eagle or
Are they?
Wait, bald eagles or American?
American Eagles, like the brand, like not
Oh.
Aeropostale,
That would be
okay.
pretty
not
cool.
Abercrombie. American Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hard
He
to
did
say.
say Sam's Club, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, so maybe not then, but
Yeah, it was $7. Sam's Club, $7.
But yeah, I think it's a successful video. I'm not sure how we're doing on time because we can't quite see, but I'm gonna say we're probably around the time where we're probably comfortable with it. Unless Chris, you got anything else to share to the world?
Well, I can check my handy dandy notebook here. Technically, we didn't talk about League of Legends or my injury too much, but that's up to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we did touch your injury a little bit as far as like stalling your progression as far as like working out and running. But we were right. We didn't touch on your league of legends, so let's hear a little bit about that.
Yeah, true. I'm a big nerd, like we already established with the Lasertron.
Okay.
But more recently when I was working overnights, I had 3-day, 4-day weekends, so I was getting into some grind hours. Playing some League of Legends, video game on the computer.
Okay.
Going absolutely bonkers, playing like 16 hours a day.
Wow.
And straight grinding. I don't know if you guys play any video games. Are you guys video games?
I mean, honestly, I'm more of like FIFA guy, and that's just about it. So I can't relate to you much here, but I can respect the statements and the words and the wisdom that you're speaking.
True. The MMore Life Podcast is very accepting of others.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Accept anything, anyone, and
we may not do it or agree with it, but we'll always listen and we'll always be open to whatever your words are.
Yes. Yeah. So let's hear it. Continue.
Yeah. So I reached Masters in League of Legends. That's one of the highest ranks. The next highest would be Grandmaster, and then Challenger. So to be Master, though, you're pretty much in the top 2,000 people that play on your server. So a lot of hours. There's a few million people, obviously, that play this video game. So
wow. So like on your server, does that mean like worldwide? Or just
in
servers?
North America
okay.
server. So
North
there's
America
still
server.
like a Korean and Chinese servers,
Gotcha.
And then there's a couple other Latin America and
Europe
other things.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so top 2,000. I'm a jungle main, so just playing some Vi. That's my main character. If you guys have seen the Netflix series,
Nope.
Arcane.
No. But you did say jungle something, and you
Reminded me
mentioned
of
how you want to run in the
the
Amazon,
Amazon,
so it makes sense to me.
Makes that connection.
I can make that connection.
I didn't even make that connection, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty
See
cool.
that wavelength.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wavelength, and that's your subconscious speaking to you there.
That's right.
That is pretty cool. But yeah, so I've grinded some hours in the jungle, so it makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, so I play a solid amount, and I think that one of the things that I want to do that I think could be pretty interesting in terms of what you guys do,
Okay.
is in terms of my triathlon training, take my League of Legends match history and create my triathlon training off of it. So if I get a certain number of kills, I would do a certain, type of workout based on those kills. If I got a certain number of deaths,
Okay.
I would have to bike for longer, run for longer,
Gotcha.
something to that extent.
And is this something you would like upload onto?
Yeah, and I think that'd be pretty cool to kind of watch. Imagine me participating in a triathlon, and then I win, and in my winning speech, they're like, "How did you train? How did you do so good?"
League of Legends.
League of Legends.
That would be. I definitely would not see that coming if I listened to that interview.
I think that'd be peak viewership.
And I think I think you could definitely reach your specific niche audience with that too.
Yeah, right. I think that combine kind of fitness, video games.
Yep.
And then also actually doing the training. I can go kind of like Sam
almost
Sulek
motivational.
style.
Yeah.
Showing my actual training.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I could just do that instead of having a job. That'd be pretty cool.
That's awesome. I mean, Mike, you and me, we started the podcast. There was really we just found this motivation one day to just start it. Like there was no. I feel like there was no build up.
No kangaroos involved watching that.
No,
That's
this
true.
was the podcast was created before the kangaroo. No,
After
the kangaroos.
After, yeah.
Very much after the kangaroos. Probably 3 years after the kangaroos.
Yeah.
But it could have been inspired us. But
I guess maybe that's just how I got right before I play my league games to get to the highest rank. Imagine if I'm rank 1 in League of Legends, and I win a triathlon.
yeah,
it's a lot of number ones.
That is.
yeah. I mean, I feel like.
But I'm number 2 in laser tag.
Right.
So what is the difference?
There
Only
is
a couple
no
million
difference to
people.
say.
Right. There's no difference. I don't think.
Who's to say?
I think with your uploading, I think, like I said, you'd reach your niche. But I feel like maybe this is a stereotype, and I'm sorry. I apologize if I'm offending anyone. But I feel like the gaming community would probably be less into the fitness world. I could be wrong. And like I said, I very much could be wrong. I don't want to offend anyone. But I feel like the gaming world, as far as maybe grinding to the sense how you are, maybe not casual gaming, but grinding gaming like you are, is probably less into fitness than
Well, I would
you.
say they
But
might not be into the fitness aspect, but they still understand the grind, the process, of what it takes
Exactly.
to get
It's
there.
similar, and that's
So-
what you're linking. So
Exactly.
I
I'm
think
trying to
you could
encourage 'em.
almost add, if you can add like a motivational element to that, compare grinding to League of Legends to grinding in real life. You're onto something.
True.
You're
I
onto
think that's
something.
the plan. So get them all to join me on my excursion to
Exactly.
taking my match history. They'll take their match history, post their results. Build a little community out of it.
Yep, you build
They're
a
grinding
community.
in the gym. They're grinding in their life.
Exactly.
Playing some League of Legends together, getting better at the game, having fun.
Yep. It helps you. It helps them in their life, and it brings them entertainment.
Yep.
I don't see what can go wrong.
Who's to say?
Not me.
Nope, me neither.
Exactly.
Well, just remember, one day when you make it big, you started this. Well, you didn't start, but you brought this idea to life on the More Life podcast.
Yeah,
That's
you did.
true. My life
You're saying you
has,
brought
has been brought
you
more.
brought more life.
Would you say you experienced more life being here today?
This is true. I should
Good.
probably put in my 2 weeks right now.
Well, you
Justin, if you're
we
watching,
can't make you do that, but I mean,
Justin, if you're watching, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Well, you heard it here, folks.
You did.
He experienced more life on the More Life podcast,
True.
and you too can experience more life on the More Life podcast. We're still accepting more guests, and just let us know. We've got a YouTube now, so get in the comments, DM
Sure.
us on Instagram. We're pretty decent. I don't know, maybe not active Instagram page, but
We're
you know what?
getting
We're gonna
there.
try
Yeah.
with this video. We'll probably upload some more clips.
Yep.
Try and be more, because right now we're on a every 2 week upload schedule,
Yep.
which probably
It's a
isn't
bigger-
ideal for
It's
our
a
fans.
big improvement from where we've been, though.
Yes, I mean last year we didn't upload a single episode,
See that big improvement?
so this is a very big improvement. We're doing baby steps, and I think with this video we're going to be able to upload as far as our Instagram, probably more posts,
Yeah.
more
I would say,
often.
yeah.
So we're
Or
excited for
clips
it.
and such.
Right,
Yeah.
we're
Yep.
very excited for it,
I'm excited.
and we'll be looking forward to hear your feedback. And with that,
This has
Mike.
been the More Life Podcast.